brings us to a third item, which is actually the executive speaking this afternoon since he is here. So, Executive Mello, welcome.
Well, thank you, Chair Hitchin. Good afternoon, and good afternoon, council members. It's great to be with you. And for the record, my name is Ryan Mello. I have a great privilege of serving the people of Pierce County as the county executive. I'm really honored to be here today to help recognize the Washington State Department of Veterans Affairs and all that they do for veterans. So I'm excited for our proclamation, and I'm excited for lifting up some of the work that is so special here at Pierce County before we do that. And so before I invite the Washington State Department of Veterans Affairs leadership to share more about their incredible service to our veterans and their families, I want to take a few moments to share all the ways that Pierce County supports our veterans, military service members, and their families. Their work is really important. We focus on this because Pierce County is incredibly military connected, right? We are so grateful to be so military connected. We are home to 89,000 veterans, as well as one of the largest military bases in the country, of course, Joint Base Lewis McChord. That means so many of our neighbors are serving or have served our country, and they truly are an integral part of our community. We know that because of their lived experiences, many of our neighbors are facing challenges that their civilian peers simply cannot understand or have not lived, have that similar experience. And so Pierce County is here to support them through these challenges. And so some of the examples I want to lift up to you, Madam Chair, and to those listening into your meeting this afternoon that we're so proud of. One example of how we're taking care of our military members, our veterans, and their families includes Pierce County participating in the State Employment Security Department's Yes Vets hiring program, which has helped more than 9,700 veterans find work with more than 2,600 employers, really helping with that transition out of the military into their next phase in their life. Another example is in May of this year, Pierce County Human Services awarded $1.3 million to 2 local organizations that provide direct support to veterans, military members, and their families, specifically in the space of behavioral health supports. So this is as a result of the Behavioral Health and Therapeutic Courts tax that the council approved, and we are so busy continuing to implement. The funding will make it easier for veterans to access essential behavioral health care. 2 organizations received those awards. The first is Multicultural Child and Family Hope Services, delivering peer-led, veteran-focused behavioral health services, including individual therapy, serving veterans with co-occurring disorders, structured veteran group therapy, family and caregiver support, veterans court assessments and advocacy, and psychiatric referral and coordination. The other organization that received funding from the Behavioral Health and Therapeutic Courts tax just this May is the Cohen Clinic. And I know all of you know about the amazing work of the Cohen Clinic based in your district, Chair Hitchin. The Cohen Clinic provides low-barrier, rapid access to behavioral health care for veterans, service members, and their families. With services available same day or shortly thereafter. And our funding helps bridge the gap for often the time it takes for veterans or their families to get an appointment at the VA. Right? Folks often need care and attention swiftly, and that's in part what our Behavioral Health and Therapeutic Courts tax is able to do, is to ensure we reduce that wait time and be able to allow veterans and their families get swift access to care. So we're really proud of those investments and getting those dollars out in the street, working hard for our veterans and their families. As you know, veterans are at a much higher risk of suicide, and firearms are used in many of these tragic suicide deaths. And that's why Pierce County recently invested $300,000 in the Health Department's Safe Firearms Storage Program to buy 1,500 biometric lockboxes for free distribution meeting responsible gun owners where they're at to increase safe gun storage countywide. It's not just safe gun storage, the lockboxes themselves to lower cost barriers and the hassle to go find one, but it's also the outreach and education about how to safely store weapons. So when we announced this expansion at an event last month, demand truly skyrocketed. And we're glad that it did. There's a lot of interest around the county for safe firearms storage. This will truly help save lives, including veterans' lives, and we're really proud of that work. So now the reason why we are here today. Pierce County is so proud to be the state's leading purchaser of what we call 988 emblems. They look like this. These 988 emblems are helping raise money and awareness for suicide prevention. These emblems go on the bottom of your license plate, your vehicle license plate, to promote the 988 Lifeline. Now, maybe we're a little competitive, but I'm really pleased to report that Pierce County purchased 573 of these emblems for our fleet vehicles, meaning more people will learn about and use this life-saving resource every time our Pierce County vehicles are out in the community serving our residents. Now, while we might not be competitive, I do have to say we are the county who bought the most of these emblems and have them on most of our cars, most of our vehicles, and the most vehicles of any other county in Washington State. So, Madam Chair, I actually want to throw down a challenge to all the other 38 counties in Washington State. I'll figure, my staff doesn't know that we're throwing down a challenge, but we're going to throw down a challenge and figure out how to truly make a challenge with the other 38 counties to promote the purchase and use of these to get the word out about how important the 988 Lifeline is, especially for our veterans. I really want to thank Robert Sheets, our Veterans Service Administrator at our Department of Human Services. Robert brought the idea to me when we were meeting one day in my office. I said, that's a brilliant idea. We walked right into the Deputy County Executive's office, and I said, Scott Nicholson, will you please make this happen? And he did. In fact, that to the tune that we are the leading county to do this. I want to thank Sheriff Swank, who smoothed the way for all of our sheriff's deputy vehicles, and also County Assessor Treasurer Marty Campbell for all of our Assessor Treasurer vehicles. That and the rest of Fleet Services who made this happen with a lot of pride and a lot of joy and a lot of significance for how it's going to help get the word out and help bring this lifeline and the mention of this lifeline out to more people. So these are just some of the ways that Pierce County is really working together, right? Moving Pierce County forward and doing it together, and how we are building communities that are truly safe, welcoming, and connected. And so now, Madam Chair, I'm honored to introduce Washington State Department of Veterans Affairs Director David Puente, Jr. Director Puente leads a department that does truly incredible work across the state, supporting the health, the well-being, and the economic success of veterans across the entire Evergreen State, including right here in Pierce County. We're honored to have Director Puente here to speak more about the significance of the 988 suicide prevention efforts. And Madam Chair, thank you for letting me share some of the ways that we are really committed to veterans and their families. And so with that, I'd like to welcome up Director Puente.
Thank you, Executive. Welcome, Director.
Good afternoon, everyone. So for the record, I'm David Puente. I'm the director of your Washington State Department of Veterans Affairs, and it's an honor to be here. Before I get started on my talking points, I want to say thank you to Executive Ryan Mello for that call to action and challenge, because I do think that the other 38 counties should follow, and I think you guys are doing an amazing job. So thank you for that. So Pierce County Executive Mello, Madam Chair, Vice Chair, council members, Sheriff Swank, and all those who made today possible for your Washington State Department of Veterans Affairs to proudly be here. I want to personally thank Pierce County for its steadfast commitment to service members, veterans, and family members. Often, we hear a lot of talk about how to appreciate our service members and veterans, statements where we thank them for their service and putting themselves in harm's way. How we appreciate their sacrifices while being separated for months at a time from their loved ones and for placing their lives and careers on hold in service to something greater than themselves. But Pierce County is doing so much more than saying thank you. Pierce County exemplifies our agency's mission of serving those who serve with a commitment of taking action. Pierce County leads the state as an organization who has purchased the most 988 Lifeline vehicle emblems to be displayed on your fleet and Sheriff's Office vehicles. And this action spreads the word about 988 Crisis Line and the life-saving resources it will provide, as well as helping support community nonprofits providing suicide prevention support. Having and maintaining a livable wage is also important in supporting the well-being of our military veterans and families. By declaring July 25th as Hire a Veteran Day in Pierce County, you are demonstrating the importance of hiring veterans through our state's Yes Vets hiring initiative. The Yes Vets initiative recognizes employers who say yes to hiring veterans. Just last week, we were honored to help host an event here in Pierce County where the Employment Security Department and other Yes Vet partners, we saw more than 400 veterans walk through those doors for that event. We are grateful to Pierce County for setting an example for other government agencies and even for our local businesses to follow. Hiring veterans makes good sense, and it's probably one of the most important ways that we can serve our transitioning service members, veterans, and their families. By creating connections to meaningful work and to a career, you're opening a door that allows them to support themselves and their families. Connection to a career is a pathway for their future and is one of the best benefits we can provide to our veterans when they're leaving service. When employers hire veterans, they're getting leaders, problem solvers, and people who know how to work as a team and to get the job done. And through Yes Vets, we make it easy for businesses to connect with these incredible talent pool, as well as for employers to learn more about the earned benefits available to our military service members and veterans. Helping veterans make connections is a meaningful career, is also significant. It's a significant protective factor and serves to prevent a crisis down the road that could lead to suicide thoughts or actions. So to everyone here today, and to Pierce County as a whole, thank you for your commitment to serving those who serves, and thank you for your actions and for setting the example for all the counties across the state. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Director. Truly appreciate the partnership, and it was a fun surprise to find out that we were leading this effort, so appreciate the work behind the scenes that made it a reality. I want to pause and see if there's anyone else that's presenting something potentially that's not in the script, but I'm just going to go with it.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Nicole Vreeland. I proudly serve as a Suicide Prevention Program Manager for your Washington State Department of Veterans Affairs. We appreciate Pierce County's support in many arenas that we do here at Washington State Department of Veterans Affairs, more so with firearm safety as well as suicide prevention efforts. So with that, in addition to Director Puente's information and that he shared on all the wonderful things that Pierce County has partnered with us with, I would like to present the key people that helped make our 988 emblem sales and the work with our service members, veterans, and our families a success here. So with that, I would like to present certificates of appreciation, if that's okay.
That is fabulous.
Okay. So first, I'd like to thank Executive Ryan Mello, and we have a certificate of appreciation for you. And then we have Councilmember Robin Denson. All right, next we have Council Member Paul Herrera. Okay, and then next we have Councilmember Amy Kruper. Okay, and Councilmember Rosie Ayala. All right, we have Councilmember Brian Yambe. Okay, and next is Councilmember and Chair Hitchin. Okay, and we have Councilmember Dave Morrell. Okay. All right, and then the executive assistants, Nicole Jones-Vogel for Councilmember Denson. All right, and we have Cynthia Banuelos for Councilmember Herrera. And from Pierce County Human Services, Robert Cheese.
Robert.
All right, next up from Pierce County Finance and Enterprise Services Fleet Division, Quentin Brown. Okay, and Lee Hayes. Okay. Bob Berkovich. Okay. All right, and from Pierce County Sheriff's Office, Sheriff Keith Swank. Right, and Major Eric Clark. Okay, and last but not least, Lieutenant Jessica Whitehead. Okay, so with this, again, we thank you very much from the Suicide Prevention Program on behalf of Washington State Department of Veterans Affairs and all you do for service members, veterans, and their families across the county. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Let's give everybody a hand. So in coordination with this day, we also have a proclamation. I want to pause and see if anyone has comments on this item, or if we can just roll right into the proclamation and then see. I didn't think that would work. So we'll go to Councilmember Denson.
Thank you, Chair. And then I promise I won't comment on the next one. How's that?
It's all good.
Thank you so much. I just wanted to thank WDVA and our own Veteran Services Affairs for all of their work for veterans in Pierce County. As we all know, and all you know, we are so grateful to have so many veterans as well as active duty individuals and their families in Pierce County. We really are so lucky to have these incredible members of our community, both as employees and as service providers, and it's just incredibly lucky. And similar to Executive Mello's story about how Robert Sheets brought to him the idea of the emblem, the District 7 assistant, Nicole Jones-Vogel, came into my office and introduced me to the emblem and said, you know, we need to have these on our cars. So I have one on my car. She has one on her car. So District 7 has 100% participation. And I assume District 2, Councilmember Herrera's office, does as well. So I'm sure that Councilmember Herrera will join me in issuing a challenge to the rest of the council members, if you don't already, to get an emblem on your car as well. It is so important. I just want to end with the 988 program is so critically important. And I've told these stories to my colleagues. I mentioned some today. I run into people quite frequently who still don't know what 988 is. And these are people who have been impacted by suicide, either within their family, somebody who's actually completed a suicide, and it's somebody who's died by suicide. Or I have a friend that I was talking to just last Friday who was on the phone with a family member who was saying that he was going to commit suicide. And in both cases, you know, I brought up, call 988, call 988. It's 24/7. These are professionals. They're there to help. And both of these individuals had never heard of 988. So I'm so grateful to WDVA, to our Veteran Services, to our Human Services, and to all of us who continue to spread the word about this life-saving effort. We've got to keep getting the word out, and these emblems are an important part of that. So thank you so much for bringing this program to us, and it's, you know, it's our pleasure and honor, and we're fortunate to be able to spread the word about this program in these ways. So thank you so much.
Thank you for your leadership in this, and we'll go to the partner in I'm going to say passion, as in like energy, to the Vice Chair.
Thank you, Chair. Couldn't say anything more than Councilmember Denson, but you know, the passion comes around from being a veteran, being in public safety, and actually seeing the hopelessness in people's eyes who are in crisis. And it's non-discriminatory from race, creed, doesn't matter who you are, what status you are, homelessness, and in particular, veterans. You know, as a veteran, you know, many people that I've known, their soul died in the war, but a lot of them didn't fall down until many years later. And these type of tools are very important, because if they have the gun in their mouth already, it's too late. 988 gets them to services they need when they need it, before they're in that situation. And, you know, the human side of this is, they're probably, if you're a veteran in here, or if you're a law enforcement officer in here, every